Alright, on today's episode, we're going to be ranking all the Pantera
Lots
albums.
of Pantera albums. Lots of good
From
stuff.
our least favorite to our favorite.
So we're just going with the albums that are, major studio, major label.
Yeah, just
albums.
the major label.
Starting with Cowboys, ending with Reinventing.
Reinventing the
So
Steel.
that's the era we're focused on. We definitely know there are 4 other albums before from Hell, but that was
Right. Alright, so we do like all these albums too. We think they're excellent, but you gotta have a favorite, you gotta have a least favorite, right?
So our least favorite.
Yeah, so we're gonna start with...
I think Reinventing the Still, man. This is, when Pantera was having the most trouble. Obviously, it was their last album, so that says something right there.
Yeah, I think, from what I can read, I think they're having more trouble during Great Southern Trendkill, but this is kind of like they came back and made this album, but it was on the way out, man. They were definitely like, I think they had Damage playing going, and
all the side projects, Super Joint
Ritual. Yeah, I think there's a few in here that I think stand out for me. I like Goddamn Electric. I think the Yesterday Don't Mean Shit is really good, and Revolution Is My Name.
I like it. I Cast a Shadow. I remember that being like there's some good ones on here, man. It's a Pantera album, so it's not can't be bad.
It's still excellent. I think this album just needed some editing. Like to me, it felt like. Yeah. There's just songs that meandered a little bit. There's a lot of riffs, a lot of good riffs, but it's not very focused.
Felt like Dimebag was holding things up. Like Phil wasn't his best. The rest of the band was kind of like. I mean, the songwriting wasn't great there, but yeah, you're right. The editing, there were great ideas, but it just was not cohesive and just kind of a big,
Yeah, I think it feels like the band was definitely on their way out. They probably would have taken like a break from each other and came back and put out another album eventually, but I think it was time for them to kind of have their own space for a while, and Dimebag gets taken out, so
yeah, there goes that.
But,
we're gonna go back in time, just going back the way it came. Great Southern Trendkill. Dope album, by the way. There is some cool stuff on Southern Trendkill. There's definitely like a southern bluesier kind of a flair at times.
Yeah, this is a 1996, so it's just a mid '90s album. Yeah, super heavy.
It's heavy. Don't get me wrong.
I think this is like an album where there's a lot of contrast on it, where there's a lot of songs that are kind of a little more subdued, and then especially like Suicide Note.
Suicide Note 1 and 2. I think 2 is crazy. It goes fucking heavy.
I can remember I saw Pantera on this tour, and they just played Suicide Note on CD for the whole audience before the show was starting, so everyone knew the show was about to start. They're just playing that song, Suicide Note, on the CD, and the curtain just dropped down, and they went into Suicide Note 2, which is just so heavy, and everyone just moshing everywhere.
Yeah, somebody got killed. Probably.
Yeah, it went from 0 to 60.
Probably definitely
and then it's like concerts on, like right away.
Somebody died.
But Great Southern Trendkill is awesome. It's like it has a little more aggressive, bluesy nature to it, but every front to back, it's really good.
There's a lot of screaming, a lot of barking.
There's a lot of damn screaming.
There's not a lot of nuanced vocals or anything like that, but the guitar is a little bit more nuanced. And like Scott said, there's some subdued kind of nature in some of the songs, which is cool and nice, but most of the time it's just heavy, screaming. You know what you're going to get. Not the strongest songwriting in terms of Pantera's complete catalog, but definitely a great album.
I think there are some songs on here that I put up there. I think my favorite song on here is, I'd say Floods.
Floods. I think
that's an A+ Pantera song. But other strong ones, War Nerve, Drag the Waters, Tens is really good. I like how it comes out, like the Great Southern Trendkill is just, it just comes out, just bam, hits you in the face. This is a good moshing album, like when all the songs that are on.
They're probably mad at each other, so they're just like, fuck it, because I know this album Phil recorded.
Yeah, this is after he died. We heard he freaking heroin OD'd and...
and get back to life or whatever?
Yeah, like his heart stopped.
So this album was 96.
Yeah.
So this was right, 2 years after Far Beyond Driven, and this is when they were getting along really not good.
Yeah. He recorded the vocals at Trent Reznor's studio, so they recorded separately.
Nothing Records in New Orleans. Yeah.
Right.
And by himself, and the rest of the band would record.
But the album is good, man. I mean, even with all that adversity going on, they did put together. Yeah, it did put together a good album.
That was solid, man.
So,
that was solid.
I don't know. That's
number 4.
Number 4.
So we're at number 3 on our list. And Scott, what do you think number 3 might be?
This is Far Beyond Driven territory.
I gotta agree with that.
Yeah, we're kind of going back in time.
Pretty much. It's almost
right
like
now,
a backwards process, actually.
I mean, I guess that's you gotta have your peak and then whatever.
Yeah. We're just lucky they made some shit after, Vulgar Display of Power that was badass, and this album is badass.
Yeah, I remember when this album came out.
Heavy.
It was just like so heavy, and I know I remember from interviews that that was their object was to make a heavier damn album than Vulgar Display of Power.
At a certain point, you can only get so heavy, but these guys put like heavy on top of heavy, so just let's supersize the heavy.
This album had tons of hits, and it actually reached number 1 on Billboard Top 200.
Yeah,
which kind of tells you where they were at the time as far as metal being in popular music.
This one probably had bigger, more mainstream media pub and hits than even Vulgar. Like it had I remember Broken and 5 Minutes Alone. Becoming.
They had that
Planet Caravan. That was a cool. That was a deviation from normal Pantera and rad.
Well,
very cool cover.
Yeah, I noticed this. Like this album is just intense all the way front to back, and then they end it with the Black Sabbath cover, which is real spacey and mellow,
psychedelic, stony baloney, man.
But yeah, it's definitely a contrast song. It's kind of an odd song to finish.
It's kind of like the Hollow at the end of that.
Right. But yeah. I think this album I can listen to it front to back, and I enjoy every minute. It's such a good album, and it's aggressive. It's hard. I don't know. It's some innovative.
I love some of the guitar sounds, man. He had a good. This album, he had that like Broken, for example.
Yeah,
it was kind of a different sound than Vulgar Display.
This is before the wheels started falling off the Pantera bus. Because they were doing a lot of partying, a lot of drinking, and I know the wear and tear didn't quite hit yet.
Phil had some heroin, back surgery, whatever the hell he was going through. But this album was before the shit hit the fan.
I can't believe this.
Maybe during when the shit was hitting the fan, but it didn't. The album was out.
I just can't believe this hit number 1 on the Billboard Top 200. I can't even imagine like a metal album hitting number 1 now.
25 years later,
nothing sniffs the top 200. That's
it is 25. This is 25-year-old album. Damn, man, that's a quarter of a century, bro. Think about that.
Yeah, I don't know. This album kicks ass. It's freaking awesome. All right, so number 2.
It's
gotta be.
I think we're gonna have to deviate from the back in time, chronological reverse style. We have to skip Cowboys from Hell, 1990. Their pretty much debut, major label. The shit that got them on the map. Badass album.
That's the first time I heard of them.
This was their facelift. This might have been their...
First song I ever heard was Cemetery Gates.
Yes. Cemetery Gates.
It's a keystone metal song. I mean, like...
Surprisingly, the first thing I ever heard was fucking Hostile, which was interesting.
I remember hearing Cemetery Gates on the radio.
But when I did hear Cemetery Gates, I lost my mind. I was like, dude, the best song ever written metal style.
Yeah, this album features probably the best Pantera song in Cemetery Gates, correct?
Yeah, I think so, man. That solo is probably in the top 10 of all time. Probably in the top 5. I don't know, man. That solo is so killer.
And how
it gets going so good.
Yeah, and how the album, when it opens up with such like I don't know.
Oh that Cowboys from Hell, the song.
Yeah, that riff is.
That is a song, man. That is a Pantera anthem, and it was for a long time. Probably still is, I guess. But especially people from Texas that kind of metalheads from Texas, dude. I'm sure this is their song. This song
Yeah,
is
I
made
see
for
this.
you.
This album still had a little bit of the foot in the the butt rock,
the
Pantera.
glam.
There's a lot of extremely high vocals, like super high notes. Like Phil, I think on this album was not quite doing what his natural voice was. He was kind of pushing, maybe singing a little unnatural. He could hit these notes, but I don't know if that's really where he wanted to be. But it still works. It's just.
Well, I think
definitely that David Lee Roth. Like I know, the Dimebag and Vinnie Paul. They were big fans of Van Halen, so I think this band is based on it.
This was kind of like the departure from their glam side. I mean, this is kind of like he had the 1 foot in Vulgar and 1 foot out in the Cowboy, or maybe the previous album or whatever. But yeah, I mean, they had he had that rough voice, and then he'd drop every now and then some falsettos that kind of go. We're still in 1990, man. We're still making that transition. We're not there yet.
Yeah.
And I liked it. It's cool. It's definitely very dated. Definitely lets you know where shit is. And
the guitar works awesome, but I see
clean,
man. This album is it's like open. You can hear every instrument. It has its own little spot. It's
the riffs, man.
It's not great. Too. A lot of the other older Pantera albums, they had a lot more noise, a lot more experimental guitar, a lot more. Just things going on, layers, but I feel like this album was a little more of an opened up, where it was a little more simple production value. You can kind of hear the individual instruments working a little more.
Thrash groove masterpiece. I mean, songs like "Cowboys from Hell" or the art of the art of shredding was such a badass song.
Psycho Holiday,
Heresy. They had some good riffing.
Primal Concrete Sledge, right?
Primal Concrete Sledge, man.
Medicine Man.
Medicine Man's one of my favorite songs. That song's a rad, B-side, I guess you could call it.
Domination's epic. The way that closes out, it's so rad. I've seen a live version of Domination, and it'll just melt your mind. It's in front of the biggest crowd, just thousands.
Clash with Reality. Riffs, man. So
this album is awesome, yeah.
It's good. It's like one of those albums where you kind of I only think about the the hits, Cemetery Gates and Cowboys, but then when you start getting into the guts of the album, you're like, these songs are fucking dope. These songs.
Makes you want to play guitar.
It's definitely the metal masterpiece.
And then you realize that you're not that good at guitar.
Yeah, I can't even play the Cowboys from Hell riff, man. That is pack a lunch for that one, boy, baby.
But yeah, this album is freaking bitchin'. Legendary.
Certified gold, platinum, awesome.
Yeah, one of the top metal albums you'll ever find, definitely.
Which leads us to our number one.
Everyone knows what's coming.
Yeah, right.
If you know any metal, you know what's going on.
It's probably one of the best metal albums of all time. Man.
Of course, we had to pick this album.
This is kind of easy, actually. But, dude, this album is like their master of puppets.
This is the first album I bought of theirs. That album cover with the guy getting punched, This is
1992, right?
Yeah.
I believe it's 1992. That was such a good year for music, metal, grunge. I don't know, it was such a changing of the guard, of the old school.
But this wasn't grunge, which was
really, no, it wasn't.
It was so popular.
But I'm saying that year, so many albums came out. And this one was for metal, there was the Master of Puppets, of 86 to 92, right?
Yeah.
Or at least
this is a freaking fantastic album. The production value is a little bit better than Cowboys from Hell.
The songwriting was even stronger.
A little bit better.
Guitars were on point.
But this album is well edited. It's tight.
This is classic Pantera, man. This is Pantera at their...
The groove metal at its best.
Height of their career. This is what they got known for. This is what... came to define.
This is the record
golden
that
era.
you put in a box, put it on a space shuttle, and send it out to outer space as an example of something cool that was made on this damn planet.
Yeah, this is a great album, man. So where do we start? Mouthful War. Might as well start there. That song is just dope.
Yeah, front to back.
Heavy, riffy, melodic as fuck. The vocals are great.
The vocals are probably the biggest change from Cowboys to this album. I think was Phil kind of matured in a sense that he found his natural range, a little more aggression, a little less high pitch screaming.
Goodbye, butt rock.
Yeah, but it works. Everything's just Perfect.
Heavy as hell, man.
Yeah.
And so, but so groovy and tasty.
Groovy, tasty. The drum work is
no
so
good. Attack the Radical.
Yeah.
So low,
a new level.
A
new level.
Such a fucking good chorus. A new level, dude. That is great.
You got that anthem-y walk.
This love, the kind of ballad, that's heavy as fuck.
Fucking hostile.
Yeah, totally rebellious, thrash punk, heavy, just metal up your ass.
You're no good.
That one's killer.
Regular people, my demons be driven. It's just like front to back.
Doesn't stop, man. Every song is good on you.
I think Cemetery Gates is Pantera's best song, but I put Hollow up there with definitely one of their top songs, and it ends this album. It's just, I like it when bands put their best song on the album at the end, or one of their best songs of the album on the end.
You like that one? That one's good.
I do.
It's
like
really
Hollow,
good. It's so melodic. The guitars.
Yeah, I don't know. It gives me the chills.
But it kind of like starts off like, my best
it's a little
friend
sad.
died.
It's a little sad.
And then it goes.
It kind of reminds me of
and then it gets like heavy as fuck.
It kind of reminds me of Cemetery Gates. It's like the Cemetery Gates of this album.
Right. You got your soft, pretty, melodic Pantera, and then like Kill Your Mom Pantera.
Yeah.
And that's what we like. This album, man.
He was a little scared of this album.
This is where you get your metal chops, where you're like, I'm a metalhead now. This is like, I listen to this, Mom. I listen to this, friends.
My friend's dad said, these guys are serious.
Yeah, these guys are like,
these guys are serious.
Because they're good at what they do. They're heavy, they're deliberate, and you know that like the recording of this album,
he hadn't heard anything like
the production quality of this for metal really made metal sound really tasty, really good to the speaker.
Yeah,
I mean, you can play this almost on any shitty system. You're still going to get that nice, clear, trebly, you know, really distinct, clear, understandable, articulated guitar and vocal, and everything's working together, man.
If you look up groove metal in the dictionary,
right.
Pantera is the definition. Right?
Damn right, yeah.
They took the Van Halen formula and just made it better.
Well, they're metal. They're metal gods, to be right.
Metal gods, definitely. They're in the top echelon.
What Cast a Shadow was one of their songs. Kind of was about. Apparently, I don't know if that's Trendkill or Reinventing the Steel, but apparently that's kind of like basically them talking about we've cast a shadow and we've kind of like started a movement or a metal archetype, identity or whatnot.
And I'd advocate, they have like the big four, which is, Metallica, Megadeth, Slayer, and Anthrax. But I think we should kick Anthrax out and put Pantera in there.
Or call it the Big Five and have Pantera as
Pantera's got to be in there. I mean, I like me some Anthrax, dude. I'm an anti-Anthrax.
But Pantera is so much stronger in every kind of way.
I'm sorry.
Vocals,
Pantera's better.
Guitar, songwriting,
attitude.
Look, I don't know.
Yeah, it was a cool time in music when Pantera was ruling the world.
1992 was a damn good year. Some good memories.
Too bad. Now we just got YouTube.
Terrible now. Sorry about that, guys. Don't know what to tell you.
It's not that bad.
It's pretty terrible.
Hey, there's some good stuff.
There is. You gotta mine it though. You gotta mine it.
There's almost too much stuff. You need like
you
need a filter.
Most of the stuff you're just never gonna hear and not know about because you gotta dig too high. And people got work.
There's a smaller bloom.
I get that.
All right.
Namaste, bitches. Pantera.
Well, let us know if you disagree with our lists. I think we kind of went with maybe a popular opinion on this one, but
yeah, I don't think there's gonna be too much.
Yeah, but you never know. Let us know down below. And hit the like button, the subscribe button, and comment down below as you see fit.